In March of 2020, COVID-19 struck and created a worldwide pandemic. Live theater sadly was put on an indefinite hold until a cure was in sight. During this time, the Birmingham Village Players, like all other live theaters, had to cancel their season and set their sights on virtual content. During a thorough clean of the theater, a discovery was made deep in the vaults beneath the basement of the playhouse. Lost, never-before-heard-of tapes were discovered of a radio broadcast of a Shakespeare play. What you are about to hear are those long-lost recordings, restored to the best of our abilities. While not perfectly restored to what we assume would be its original quality, we think it's the right time for this lost play to finally reach the light of day.
The Birmingham Village Players Radio Hour presents William Shakespeare's The Two Gentlemen of Verona, recorded in 5 installments for your listening pleasure. Tonight we present to you Act 5 of the Shakespearean comedy. But first, a word from tonight's sponsor.
Jingle, jingle, jingle. It's Mrs. Kris Kringle, here to remind you that Santa has made his way down Woodward Avenue, which means only one thing. It's Christmas shopping time at the J.L. Hudson Company. Santa and I never miss a holiday season at J.L. Hudson's. Christmas has imploded all over the 12th floor, and Santa is here daily to see all the good little girls and boys of Detroit. And while he's busy at work, I take time to shop the amazing deals. Be sure to pick up something for him, or for her, and for everyone on your holiday shopping list. And when I need a quick break from shopping, I'd like to stop and have a Maurice salad and Canadian cheese soup at the 13th floor dining room. J.L. Hudson's, walking through each of the 25 floors, is luxury at its finest. If I didn't have to go back to the North Pole, why, I would live here. J.L. Hudson's on Woodward in Detroit. Let's hope Santa doesn't mind a few extra green shopping bags in the sleigh for our travels back home. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Thank you, sponsor. Now sit back, relax, and let us hear the conclusion of this tale of Proteus and Valentine. Act 5, Scene 1.
Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge great to new mutiny, where civil gods make civil hands unclean. Come forth the fatal lines of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life.
Excuse me, who are you and what play are you reading?
Romeo and Juliet.
I'm sorry, but you're in the wrong Verona.
Well, that's the Verona everyone knows.
Security, we have a rogue Shakespearean narrator on our hands. Sorry about that, folks. Now back to the Two Gentlemen of Verona. Outside of Friar Patrick's cell, the gallant Sir Eglamour is hiding in the shadows, waiting in the exact spot that fair Sylvia requested.
The sun begins to gild the western sky, and now it is about the very hour that Sylvia, at Friar Patrick's cell, should meet me. She will not fail, for lovers break not hours unless it be to come before their time. So much they spur their expedition. See, where she comes.
Sylvia enters quickly in the darkness, and with a rush of nervous energy gives Sir Eglamour a hug.
Lady, a happy evening.
Amen, amen. Go on, good Eglamour, out at the postern by the abbey wall. I fear I am attended by some spies.
Fear not, the forest is not 3 leagues off. If we recover that, we are sure enough.
Sylvia then rushes Eglamour off towards the woods. She takes a quick look behind her to make sure she wasn't followed, and then runs off towards the woods as well as we turn to Act 5, Scene 2. Back in the palace of the Duke of Milan, Proteus enters with the beyond giddy Sir Thurio. Sebastian, also known as Julia, enters behind the men. She sits down on a bench as the men discuss the success of wooing Sylvia with that lovely music.
Sir Proteus, what says Sylvia to my suit?
Oh, sir, I find her milder than she was, and yet she takes exception at your person.
What? That my leg is too long?
No, That it is too little.
I'll wear a boot to make it somewhat rounder.
But love will not be spurred to what it loathes.
What says she to my face?
She says it is a fair one.
Nay then, the wanton lies, my face is ugly.
But pearls are fair, and the old saying is, ugly men are pearls in beauteous ladies' eyes.
'Tis true, such pearls as put out ladies' eyes, for I had rather wink than look on them.
How likes she my discourse?
Ill. When you talk of war.
But well, when I discourse of love and peace.
Oh, but better indeed when you hold your peace.
What says she to my valor?
Oh, sir, she makes no doubt of that.
She needs not, when she knows it cowardice.
What says she to my birth?
That you are well derived.
True, from a gentleman to a fool.
Considers she my possessions?
Oh, aye, and pities them.
Wherefore?
That such an ass should owe them.
That they are out by lease.
Heavy steps are heard coming from a corridor. Julia stands up quickly and moves closer to the men so they can hear her.
Here comes the Duke.
The Duke of Milan enters in a rush.
How now, Sir Proteus? How now, Thurio? Which of you saw Sir Eglamour of late?
Not I.
Nor I.
Saw you my daughter?
Neither.
Why then she's fled unto that peasant Valentine, and Eglamour is in her company. 'Tis true, for Friar Lawrence met them both, as he in penance wandered through the forest. Him he knew well, and guessed that it was she, but being masked, he was not sure of it. Besides, she did intend confession at Patrick's cell this even, and there she was not. These likelihoods confirm her flight from hence. Therefore, I pray you stand not to discourse, but mount you presently and meet with me upon the rising of the mountain foot that leads toward Mantua, whither they are fled. Dispatch, sweet gentlemen, and follow me.
The Duke exits with swiftness.
Why, this it is to be a peevish girl that flies her fortune when it follows her. I'll after more to be revenged on Eglamour than for the love of reckless Sylvia.
Sir Thurio exits with swiftness.
And I will follow, more for Sylvia's love than hate of Eglamour that goes with her.
Proteus exits with swiftness.
And I will follow, more to cross that love than hate for Sylvia that is gone for love.
And Julia too exits with swiftness as we turn to Act 5, Scene 3. Deep in the forest, Sir Eglamour and Sylvia find themselves lost. They are searching for a way out when they run into our favorite band of Valley Girl outlaws. With a struggle, Sir Eglamour escapes, but Sylvia is captured. The head outlaw bounds her hands with ropes.
Come. Be patient. Like we must bring you to our captain.
1,000 more mischances than this one have learned me how to brook this patiently.
Come, bring her away.
Where is the gentleman that was with her?
Yeah, so being nimble-footed, he hath outrun us. But like Tammy and Jocelyn follow him, go thou with her to the west end of the wood. There is our captain. We'll follow him that's fled. The thicket is beset. He cannot escape.
Come, I must bring you to our captain's cave. Fear not, he bears an honorable mind, and will not use a woman lawlessly.
Oh, Valentine, this I endure for thee.
The Valley Girl outlaws push Sylvia forward as they take her to their new leader, as we turn to Act 5, Scene 4. In another part of our forest, we find our betrayed friend Valentine. Now, king of the Valley Girl outlaws, he waits for them to return to their shelter. He sits and reflects on the events that got him to this point.
How use doth breed a habit in a man. This shadowy desert, unfrequented woods, I better brook than flourishing peopled towns. Here can I sit alone, unseen of any, and to the nightingale's complaining woes tune my distresses, and record my woes. O thou that dost inhabit in my breast, leave not the mansion so long tenantless, lest, growing ruinous, the building fall, and leave no memory of what it was. Repair me with thy presence, Sylvia. Thou gentle nymph, cherish thy forlorn swain.
Valentine hears voices coming near.
What hallowing and what stir is this today? These are my mates that make their wills their law. Have some unhappy passenger in chase. They love me well, yet I have much to do to keep them from uncivil outrages. Withdraw thee, Valentine. Whose this comes here?
Valentine hides himself in the wood as Sylvia enters, walking fast ahead of Proteus and Julia, who is still disguised as Sebastian. Proteus grabs Sylvia's hand to stop her. She pulls her hand back and slaps Proteus across the face.
Madam, this service I have done for you, though you respect not aught your servant doth, to hazard life and rescue you from him that would have forced your honor and your love. Vouchsafe me for my meed, for one fair look. A smaller boon than this I cannot beg, and less than this I am sure you cannot give.
Oh, like a dream is this I see and hear. Love, lend me patience to forbear a while.
Oh, miserable, unhappy that I am.
Unhappy that you were, madam, ere I came, but by my coming I have made you happy.
By thy approach thou makest me most unhappy.
And me, when he approacheth to your presence.
Had I been seized by a hungry lion, I would have been a breakfast to the beast rather than have false Proteus rescue me. Oh, heaven, be judge how I love Valentine, whose life's as tender to me as my soul. And full as much, for more there cannot be. I do detest false perjured Proteus. Therefore be gone. Solicit me no more.
What dangerous action, stood it next to death, would I not undergo for one calm look? Oh, 'tis the curse in love, and still approved when women cannot love where they're beloved.
When Proteus cannot love where he's beloved, read over Julia's heart, thy first best love, for whose dear sake thou didst then rend thy faith into 1,000 oaths, and all those oaths descended into perjury to love me. Thou hast no faith left now, unless thou's two, and that's far worse than none. Better have none than plural faith, which is too much by one, thou counterfeit to thy true friend.
In love, who respects a friend?
All men but Proteus.
Nay, if gentle spirit of moving words can no way change you to a milder form, I'll woo you like a soldier at arm's end, and love you 'gainst the nature of love force ye.
Proteus, in a dark turn, completely overcome with anger, grabs Sylvia and forces her to the ground.
Oh, heaven!
I'll force thee yield to my desire.
Sylvia, who is caught off guard, quickly composes herself and kicks Proteus down south. At that very moment, Valentine rushes in and grabs Proteus by the collar. He throws a punch against Proteus's cheek and then pins him up against a tree. Julia quickly runs to Sylvia's aid.
Ruffian, let go that rude, uncivil touch, thou friend of an ill fashion.
Valentine!
Thou common friend, that's without faith or love. For such is a friend now, treacherous man. Thou hast beguiled my hopes. Naught but mine eye could have persuaded me. Now I dare not say I have one friend alive. Thou wouldst disprove me. Who should be trusted when one's own right hand is perjured to the bosom? Proteus, I am sorry, I must never trust thee more, but count the world a stranger for thy sake. The private wound is deepest. O time most accursed, mongst all foes, that a friend should be the worst.
My shame and guilt confounds me. Forgive me, Valentine. If hearty sorrow be a sufficient ransom for offense, I tender it here. I do as truly suffer as or I did commit.
Proteus begins to cry silently, long, regretful tears. Valentine processes this. He looks to Sylvia, who gives him a compassionate nod. He slowly releases Proteus.
Then I am paid, and once again I do receive thee, honest, who by repentance is not satisfied, is nor of heaven nor earth, for these are pleased. By penitence the Eternal's wrath appeased, and that my love may appear more plain and free, All that was mine in Sylvia, I give thee.
Oh, me unhappy.
Julia faints.
Look to the boy.
Valentine, Proteus, and Sylvia all lean down to help her.
Why, boy, why, Wag, how now, what's the matter? Look up, speak.
Oh, good sir, my master charged me to deliver a ring to Madam Sylvia, which, out of my neglect, was never done.
Where is the ring, boy?
Here it is. This is it.
Julia pulls out a ring to hand to Proteus. She then realizes she pulled out the wrong ring. She quickly tries to hide it.
How? Let me see. Why, this is the ring I gave to Julia.
Oh, cry you mercy, sir, I have mistook. This is the ring you sent to Sylvia.
But how camest thou by this ring? At my depart I gave this unto Julia.
And Julia herself did give it me. And Julia herself hath brought it hither.
How? Julia!
With a grand gesture, Julia removes her hat, revealing herself not to be Sebastian. Proteus is in awe of the surprise and her beauty.
Behold her that gave aim to all thy oaths, and entertained them deeply in her heart. How oft hast thou with perjury cleft the root? O Proteus, let this habit make thee blush. Be thou ashamed that I have took upon me such an immodest raiment, if shame live in a disguise of love. It is the lesser blot modesty finds, women to change their shapes than men their minds.
Then men their minds. 'Tis true. O heaven! Were man but constant, he were perfect. That one error fills him with faults, makes him run through all the sins. Inconstancy falls off ere it begins. What is in Sylvia's face, but I may spy more fresh in Julia's with a constant eye?
Come, come, a hand from either. Let me be blessed to make this happy close. 'Twere pity two such friends should be long foes.
Bear witness, heaven, I have made my wish forever.
And I mine.
The lovers embrace, Proteus with Julia and Valentine with Sylvia. The beautiful moment is then interrupted by the return of the Valley Girl outlaws. Speed has now become one of them and is holding a spear at the backs of their exciting new captures. The Valley Girl outlaws enter with the Duke and Sir Thurio bound.
A prize, like, oh my god, a prize. Oh my god.
Wait, a prize for me?
Oh my god, it's a
No way.
Forbear! Forbear, I say. It is my lord the Duke.
The Valley Girl outlaws, slightly annoyed, roll their eyes as Valentine unbinds both the Duke and Sir Thurio.
Your grace is welcome to a man disgraced, banished Valentine.
Sir Valentine?
Yonder is Sylvia, and Sylvia's mine.
Thurio starts marching towards Sylvia, and Valentine stops him with a firm hand to the chest.
Thurio, give back, or else embrace thy death. Come not within the measure of my wrath. Do not name Sylvia thine, if once again Verona shall not hold thee. Here she stands. Take but possession of her with a touch. I dare thee but to breathe upon my love.
Sir Valentine, I care for her not. I hold him but a fool that will endanger his body for a girl that loves him not. I claim her not, and therefore she is thine.
The more degenerate and base art thou, to make such means for her as thou hast done, and leave her on such slight conditions.
Thurio sticks his nose up in the air and goes to exit. Speed sticks out his foot and trips him, sending Sir Thurio face first into a pile of mud.
Now, by the honor of my ancestry, I do applaud thy spirit, Valentine, and think thee worthy of an empress's love. Know then, I here forget all former griefs, cancel all grudge, repeal thee home again, plead a new state in thy unrivaled merit, to which I thus subscribe. Sir Valentine, thou art a gentleman, and well derived. Take thou thy Sylvia, for thou hast deserved her.
I thank your grace. The gift hath made me happy. I now beseech you, for your daughter's sake, to grant one boon that I shall ask of you.
I grant it, for thine own, whatever it be.
These banished outlaws that I have kept withal are women endued with worthy qualities. Forgive them what they have committed here, and let them be recalled from their exile. They are reformed, civil, full of good, and fit for great employment, worthy lord.
Thou hast prevailed. I pardon them and thee. Dispose of them as thou knowest their deserts. Come, let us go. We will include all jars with triumphs, mirth, and rare solemnity.
And as we walk along, I dare be bold with our discourse to make your grace to smile. What think you of this page, my lord?
I think the boy hath grace in him. He blushes.
I warrant you, my lord, more grace than boy.
What mean you by that saying?
Please you, I'll tell you as we pass along, that you will wonder what hath fortuned. Come, Proteus, 'tis your penance but to hear the story of your loves discovered. That done, our day of marriage shall be yours. One feast, one house, one mutual happiness.
The Duke, Valentine, and Proteus lead everyone out of the woods back towards the Duke's palace. The Valley Girl outlaws are now members of society again. The Duke has given his blessing to the love of Sylvia and Valentine, and Proteus makes amends for his actions and promises a lifetime of love and loyalty to his fair, beautiful Julia. And with that, my radio friends, we have reached the end of the thrilling comedy, The Two Gentlemen of Verona. The cast in order of appearance were performed by Sir Eglamour by Jackie Berry, Sylvia by Stephanie Peltier, Sir Thurio by Sterling Orlowski, Proteus by Jude Purcell, Julia by Liz Schultz, The Duke by Steve Sussman, Outlaw number 1 by Randy Hamilton, Outlaw number 2 by Kathleen Duffy, Outlaw number 3 by Deb Dworkin, and Valentine by Tom Shalakis. Our Romeo and Juliet imposter narrator was Elizabeth Berry, and our sponsor was read by Diane D'Agostino. We would like to thank Chuck Gadaris, Steve Roberts, Chris Kelly, Steve Sussman, and Jennifer Jones for the support in this radio retelling of the Shakespearean comedy. Without you, none of this would have been possible.
Next time, can we do a Shakespeare that everybody knows?
Who let you back in here? Security! She's back! Until next time, this has been your announcer and narrator, Marcus Laban. Thank you, and have a great night.